to a very cold drift works. We're in the back half of the workshop where it's not insulated, so yeah, it's going to rain as well now and make loads of noise for us, but we thought we'd just quickly show you around the 3500HD, known by us as Chevy Mirage, which, you know, a lot of people don't get. Big in the back, that's all you need to know. So yeah, I'm going to sell it. Talked about it in the last video where I talked about selling a few of my bits and bobs that I don't use very often, and this is one of those things, unfortunately. We've used it 2 times in the past year, and the previous year probably another 2 or 3 times, and it's too big to just have sitting here in the warehouse when, as you can see, we're pretty rammed in here. This is the end result of a couple of 40-foot containers that arrived pretty much on the same day. So we need more space for stuff that is profitable to the business, not stuff that is just pretty to look at. So yeah, quick walk around. It is a Julie 3500HD Silverado, 2-wheel drive truck. It's frame notched at the back, so the axle can go up further, so you can run this low. It's got custom sort of front additional suspension components to stiffen it up at the front as well. Runs really low. Still, I'd call it a practical vehicle for me. Whether it is for sort of the average person, I'm not entirely sure, but it is, for us, always has been an extremely useful vehicle. Not only does it tow the huge Pace America race trailer, which we're also selling, we'll talk about that at the end of this video as well. But it's also been used for, the bed has been used for collecting work wheels from the airport for 5-6 years now, something like that. We've had, you can get 2 full pallets, and then with the bed drop down here when the trailer's not on it, this can support a ton weight on these, and we have 3 full pallets, then disassemble another pallet worth of work wheels, and then another one disassembled in the back, because the back is absolutely massive.
And the seats fold up out the way.
Yeah, they do. So you can do that with both of them, give yourself a bit more room, and they're really easy to unbolt as well if you do need even more. And it's a massive, very, very comfortable thing on the inside in general anyway. The seats are non-original, I think, but very comfortable for doing super long journeys. Both Jay and I have done continental journeys.
Yeah, I went to Poland, didn't it?
Yeah, so I did a big south of France journey in this, towing the big trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the big one to France, yeah.
And you went to Poland, didn't you?
Yeah, with the little trailer.
So yeah, it is an amazing tool for doing very long distance in comfort.
You forgot the most important bit. Well, no, 6.6 Duramax.
It's a 6.6 Duramax,
diesel.
It's a V8 turbo diesel.
Yeah.
It's the best sounding diesel I've ever heard in my entire life. And I think it's got some kind of tuning box on it, maybe not, but it is ridiculously quick. I mean, like, the size of this thing, you would not believe how quick this car is.
No,
truck is.
I always remember when we went to Poland on the ring road around Brussels, I put it back on resume on cruise control and it lit the back tyres up on resume. Yeah. It's a beast of a thing.
And when you say that, and you've got 4 back tyres,
yeah,
it's worth pointing out, that is impressive.
It's an absolute beast of a thing.
It's an absolute monster. So, engine. There you go. It's a diesel Duramax engine. It's got a K&N air filter, but the most important thing about this is that about 3 years ago I snapped the crank in half, and it's had a significant rebuild since then. Probably, I'm guessing probably about 10 grand's worth of parts. Jay did this for me. The crank's been replaced, all genuine parts basically. The crank's been replaced, all bearings. It's got all pulleys, idler pulley, cam gears, cam chain.
Timing gears were all replaced. We replaced absolutely everything basically.
Yeah, and it is mint again, absolutely mint. Runs really nicely, and it sounds really daft. It's not normally a thing that you care about on a truck of this size, but it is relatively economical, this
compared to the F250.
Oh yeah, the 7-litre Triton or whatever
V10 Ford F250, that was horrific. God, that was
so slow and just literally drank, didn't it? This you know, don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure we can get like sort of 18, 20 out of this whilst towing.
Well, I'll tell you can tow from Birmingham to Dover on 1 tank of fuel.
Which is about 100 litres, is it?
I don't know how big the tank is.
It's good anyway.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The gearing's really good on it as well, which really helps. And it's got a, where's the sign? Where's the sign? Is it this side? Yeah, there you go. It's got an
Allison transmission.
Yeah. Genuinely, absolutely amazing transmission. So
with it's got an extra sized oil pan on the gearbox, hasn't it?
Yeah,
as well?
it has. So yeah, it's got a tow oil pan on it, and obviously it's just all on the stick there. I guess I'll just start it up in here so you can see what the inside looks like. Because it's basic. It's basically, this is a commercial vehicle in the States. So don't expect luxury. Yeah, probably should have let the glow plugs warm up there, but yeah, there you go. That's another point. 67,000.
It's not focused.
67,720 miles. Bullshit. So yeah, when I bought this, it's two parts.
Probably turn it off so we can.
Two parts to this story. So yeah. Let's come around the front here and I can explain. There's two parts to this story. When I bought this off somebody in the UK that had imported it, 64 plate, 2014 Chevy 3500HD. No, it's not. It's a 2007. It's been wrongly registered by the DVLA. So basically, when it was imported in 2014, this is how I see it, having worked out, because the same thing actually happened on the Corolla. That's got a later reg.
It's got a 93 reg on, hasn't it? L reg, which is weird. But
so basically, the DVLA used the year of import as the year it was built, the year of manufacture. So it looks like a 64 plate, but it's not. It's a 2007, which is the same chassis. They were the same from, it was 2006 up until like 2015 or something.
They're probably the same forever.
Enough about it. But anyway, it is a 2007, and as I said, that's 67,000 mile on the clock. Absolute bullshit. It is. There's no way. I don't care what anyone tells me. This is a 150 plus thousand mile truck.
I mean, who knows?
So yeah, who knows what's been done along the line? But we know that we've owned it for, how long have I owned it for?
Since 14, I think.
Yeah, since. No, it can't be 2000. It can't be.
Must have got it in 15 then.
Yeah, so
we had the Ford in 14. Yeah.
Yeah, so. Since we've owned it for a very, very long time, and we've had our hands on pretty much every part of this truck, and it is absolutely mechanically perfect, or as perfect as we can get it, because it was towing the big race transporter for us. It was also doing essential work for the business in and around Birmingham. It absolutely had to be 100% reliable, because Rock Auto is amazing if you need parts for anything. You can actually get stuff really quickly, like 1 or 2 days sometimes. But we needed to make sure that this was absolutely reliable and we didn't end up stranded on the side of the motorway, which ironically did happen once.
Only once though, only once.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the engine. It's probably done, what, 1,000 miles, maybe 1,500 miles.
Since we rebuilt it, probably, yeah.
And it literally, it's perfect as far as I'm concerned. Tow's lovely, again, drives lovely, ridiculously fast. Put a new turbo on it as well, didn't we? I think we put a brand new turbo or reconditioned turbo. It's got ARP rod bolts in it. It's got ARP crank bolts. It's got ARP head studs, which there are a lot of on this engine. And the ARP parts alone cost me something like 1,300 quid for this. So yeah, there's a really significant sort of overbuild to this. We're not running masses of boost through it or anything. We're not overdoing anything. I just wanted absolute ultimate reliability with it. Looks wise, you can see it's really low. It's got a splitter on it that catches the floor sometimes, but it's nice and rubbery, so that's fine. It's got oversized wheels, front and rear. We got rid of the jewellery spacer on the front, so it's got sort of a normal 2500 HD offset wheel on it. Looks loads better than the jewellery wheels. They come out like that.
And they're sort of inverted, aren't they?
Yeah, they look
centre, yeah.
So it's got, you know, obviously side steps which are essential on a lowered vehicle. This used to be jacked up in the air.
Yeah, when you first got it, you couldn't even see over the bonnet because it was that high.
Truck, absolute monster truck, but it's just completely wrong in my eyes to have a truck like this jacked up that high in the sky when it's two-wheel drive. It's just absolutely wrong. Yeah. Opinionated bastard, isn't it? It's got, I think, a fuel wheels on the back.
Yeah.
Relatively new tyres, I think.
We did the tyres on the whole rig at one point, didn't we? Truck and trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. We've already talked about the bed. Back bumper is a custom heavy duty thing that's welded to the chassis, I think. And it's got its own 2.5-inch tow ball on there. It's also got the standard one, which we should have removed before hitching this up together. But this basically pulls out and is an adjustable one that you can put a, so this end's a 50mm normal
Which is standard UK size.
Yeah, UK tow ball on that. UK tow electrics as well, or European tow electrics, the old 7-pin ones there. But yeah, this just plugs in really simply with one's the lights and everything, and the other's the charge point for the Ledger battery that's in there. Briefly touched on the frame notching. Basically, because this has to remain a completely practical vehicle, we really went over the top with the reinforcement for the frame notch. It was done, yeah, to excess, to say the least. It's got additional dampers and springs on the back to have a bit more spring rate to it, so it can carry really heavy loads, or you know, the big trailer, and not sink into the floor. The front is still torsion beam, so you can adjust it on these keys, so you can raise the front up if you need to a little bit. I mean, if you were really bothered, you could raise the back of this up a little bit. It wouldn't be too complicated. I've always thought it just looked pretty cool like this, so kept it like this. General condition of paintwork. It's not a show truck by any stretch of the
But it's not bad.
It's not terrible, but yeah, it's a used commercial vehicle basically. It's got scratches, you know.
You know, let's not go over the top now. It's not a 2007 Transit. It's
no.
pretty good.
Yeah, and there's no rust on it or anything. Both of these have been completely dry stored since I've owned them, kept in here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you about it really. On the interior, it is a six-seater, so the centre can come up like that. And it's got its own seat belt there. So
we have on occasion.
We have
been with 6 people.
Done that.
We very often went 5 up.
It's the most amazing sort of adventure truck, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, you know, every time we went to an event, we were 5 up, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got train horn on it, obviously. It's got a double din sat-nav, Kenwood sat-nav.
Yeah, it's got DAB and this, and
I think it's got speakers and subs underneath the seats as well. It's aftermarket, somebody's done. What else do I need to say about it?
Don't really know.
No.
The windows are aftermarket, aren't they? Electric windows, but
oh yeah. Yeah, there's some good bits about it, and then there's some bits that just like pretty annoying. So I don't know whether you can see over there, but it's the exposed blue bit there. That's the original, where the original window winder would go. And before I got it, yeah, this has been fitted. So you've got fully electric windows, but the only person who can do anything with them is the driver. So there you go. It's got remote start on it as well. I think it still works.
We used to activate it all the time by accident.
Yeah. I don't know where I put the key then. There you go. So yeah, it's got this key fob. And you just do that, the lights come on, and then you wait. I think it does a time to make the glow plugs turn on. Something like that, does it?
I don't know. We used to start it all the time by accident.
Yeah. And then
it looks very Transformers as well at the front.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
one noisy truck, and then stop it again.
I don't know, you could do that.
Yeah, so you can do that, and also, one of the best bits about it is if you start it, you can like warm it up. The moment anybody gets in, if anybody tries to steal it whilst you've got it running on this remote start, if they touch anything like the brake pedal or I think the accelerator as well, it just turns off straight away. So you have to if you've done it on the remote start, you have to put the key in, turn it to ignition 2, and then drive away basically. So probably about it really. It'd be a real shame to see it go, but as I say, it's taken up a lot of space for us, and we just really don't use it very much because I don't do competitions or anything anymore. And the work wheels, unfortunately, we're having to send most of them by sea now because COVID, thanks to COVID. So yeah, it doesn't get used for airport runs to collect anything anymore. So I'm going to put it up for sale for 26,000, which to me seems insanely cheap, but equally it's not a massive market for these. It's quite a specialist vehicle. You know, it's just one of those strange things. But yeah, 26 grand gets it. We'll probably just include, if you want it, the original lift kit, which was probably quite a lot of money. Original spindles and all sorts of stuff like that. Basically, oh yeah, the front wheels I think we've still got, things like that.
Over there.
I think we've got spare rear wheels as well. So yeah, we'll just include everything that, you know, is to do with this truck basically. So yeah, 26k and it's yours. That's it. I officially am a car salesman now.
Yeah, come get some, roll up.
Let's have a look at the trailer then, and I'll put it forward.
Drag it forward so we can drop the back door.
What is there to know about this? So, right. This is a Pace America 22-foot box trailer and traditional hitch. It's currently got the 2.5-inch hitch on it here. We also have a 50mm hitch for a UK European thing. This just works much better. I'm, you know, much more confident in this being suitably sized for what it is, because it is a massive rig. It's an official UK trailer. Yes, it was an official import by, I think, by a company that used to bring them in. I think it was their demo trailer as well. So it is all singing, all dancing. But yeah, it's got UK hydraulic brake system on it. All safety chain and everything like that is pretty normal. Where to even start with the spec of it? As I say, it's a pretty fancy one. The original receipt for it is a 2013, as far as I know, and I think the original receipt for it was something like 28,000 quid, something like that. It is. So it's got lights that work off the battery. There's a leisure battery in there.
Yeah, with its built-in charger and whatever under there.
Shall we turn these lights on?
Yeah, you can do. I'll go and plug it up.
Yeah, so
there's no point putting the generator on to turn those on, so I'll go and plug it in.
Well, we could do, I suppose. Couldn't we?
It's quite noisy though. But yeah, all right. I'll go and open the door then.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to show you the generator. Okay. To show you the generator, we need to open the generator flap, which is conveniently placed there, and there's this little latch there that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So it's a Honda.
There's your Honda generator. So in here there's a mains plug. So we've got a normal 3-pin UK plug, and we can, if we're at an event with electricity, we can just plug in straight with that.
Or we've got a normal caravan type 3-pin.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're at a racetrack and they have that hookup, you can go straight in.
So let's see if it will start. Go basically in here.
Yeah, we've got a brand new battery on the generator.
Yeah. So there you go, that's now plugged in. As you can see, it is charging the leisure battery. We've got the winch which is connected to the battery. It doesn't need the Jenny to be running. Got lights here. And the main lights on the switch there.
And the outside ones.
Oh yeah, so
yeah,
that's relevant. So there's those ones. Yeah, this is super bright in here, and then you don't need to run the battery ones. And then on the outside, whoa! So yeah, these are new LED ones that we fitted. Yeah, plenty bright enough. Probably not that off now, so it's not too noisy. So I'll just swap quickly to the other connector.
Which is with the mains plug.
Yeah, which allows you to plug in the 3-pin, and then we can just run it off. Yeah, extension lead.
So if you're leaving the thing, you know, for weeks or whatever, just plug this one in. There's an optimizer on the leisure battery, and it just keeps it topped up.
Yeah, keeps everything fruity. There we go. So now, I think we should. Yeah, so that's just running off the electricity now. So, what do we need to show you here?
The wheel rack's quite nice.
Yeah, wheel rack folds down. We have wheels and tyres loaded up on this. Can't remember how many we have, but you know, enough. It's adjustable for different sizes, and obviously the car still goes underneath it as long as the car's low enough.
Yeah.
Fancy storage cupboards. The toolbox is something cheap, Clark one or something like that, but yeah, we'll include it with it. It's very useful. Just need to make sure you keep it locked before you drive anywhere. These top ones, nice, secure, padded inside as well. You know, you get the point. The top ones. That's where the Jenny lives.
There's just 2 more comes down.
Yeah, that's the. So underneath there is the winch, which is a super winch. Is that my old exhaust? Yeah, that's one of my exhausts. So there you go. That's not included.
Yeah, that's the other tow ball, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And that's the leisure battery in there. And then you can see there's a fuse box there, the optimizer for the battery there, different outlets and plugs. It's all been built really nicely, this. Somebody spent a lot of time, I think, once it came into the UK, making it like this.
A spare wheel?
Yeah, so a spare wheel lives in there. And yeah, no rust or anything like that, because that can be a bit of a water pit in some of them, I'm told. The fixings, it's a really cool system. Basically, you can just like put these wherever you want. And we always do the over tyre straps. So let's just move that. So that just literally. Yeah. It needs to be kept clean, so you can see there's little rocks in that one. So you need to keep it clean. To be able to
selection of extra clips in one of these drawers.
Oh yeah, we bought a load of extras, didn't we? Yeah. Because we not only used to put the car in here singular, we also used to have air jack bottle there, massive gazebo there. We had 4 tanks of fuel here.
And parts thing struck to the wall.
Oh yeah, we had a massive grid that had all of our parts, spare parts for the competition car there. Then we had obviously whatever the wheels were here. The car came up to, I don't know, roughly about here, and then we'd often have another gazebo here. We'd have the compressor there and a welder there, and then the rest of it was filled with tyres, because we used to take probably an additional 20 to 30 tyres to each event, which are 265 35 18s. So it's a very, very usable space, and it's obviously massive, but it's not too massive. Some of the gooseneck ones that you see, they are massively overkill. I can almost get it in one shot.
Yeah. Forgot to mention the viewing platform on the roof.
Yes.
It's quite nice.
So it's really nicely cladded inside, but it's actually fully secure. It's actually fully structural as well, so you can get up on the roof. We've done many a day sunbathing, watching events up there. Yeah. The ladders to the top there are just aluminium ladders. You can take them off if you need to, but this still fits out of our roller shutter like this. So that's good. There's lots of, again, little dents and little scratches here and there, but it's in generally like superb looking condition. It's definitely a really decent 10-footer, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Enkei wheels, aluminium wheels, and again it was an option on these pace trailers. These are UK 12-ply tyres, and they're pretty much brand new. I think I went a size down on them to drop the trailer down ever slightly for loading angle. So the loading door itself is a one-man operation. It's got these things. I've said it now. Yeah. So I'll do this bit, and then you can demonstrate the folding down. Yeah, I'll stand back a bit. So yeah, it's all counterbalanced. So you've got this, and then we use additional bits of wood, which will include, you know, it basically sits, if you just have a look here, you can't really see it, but there's 2 marks here. There's a rubber bump stop on the outside of the door there, and you can sit the wood on that. It basically decreases the loading angle massively and allows us to get any.
The Lambo went in.
Yeah, like any of my low cars can get in there. And some of them are ridiculously low, like the Lambo's really low and the S15's really low. Porsches as well. The blue Porsche was one of the first things that we had in here when we used to have the F250 as well. So yeah, it's massive. Don't kid yourself. You're not going to be towing it with a Vito. And ask me, ask me how I know that, because...
How do you know that, Phil?
I collected this from just below Scotland with a Vito. It was a pretty terrifying journey, I've got to be honest. Yeah, don't be kidding yourself about towing this with anything small and normal. It is, I think it's probably about 2 ton before you put anything in it. So yeah, you need something pretty serious. Which is why we chose sort of the rig with the Chevy. It's kind of the recipe. It's what you see towing around America all day long. And honestly, it is one of the best things to tow with ever. On the motorway, it's pretty unbeatable. Big rig around town, don't get me wrong. UK roads, it is a wide thing, but yeah, it's still pretty simple if you know what you're doing, if you've towed before. There's no drama at all. It's got LED rear lights, I think, on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, all the lights on the trailer are LED, aren't they?
I can demonstrate, I think.
Have you plugged the electrics in?
So, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's got all the running lights, top lights, everything like that. Indicators are orange because, as I say, it is a UK spec trailer. What else is it you need to know? It's got electric charging point at the back here. That works. As I say, these are counterbalanced. So it's got skylights. Check the floor. We added some extra points, some tie points for this because we had the car really far back in the trailer to have as much space up front as possible, and we found that basically these would work really well. So if you imagine your ratchet strap, it just goes in there and ties down to there with the over tyre type. A few extra points have been added in here as well for strapping down, like I said, the fuel tanks when we had those in, or the gazebo over there. That's probably about it really.
Yeah.
As I say, this has been dry stored its entire life in here. It's only ever seen the rain on a journey and been well looked after. We've removed all the Driftworks stickers off it. I think we've removed them all, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Yeah, and is there anything of note on this side that sort of scratches?
This just looks like it's been dragged down some trees and stuff, you know.
When you got something this big and you're going down country roads, we did quite a few journeys to Mondello, didn't we?
Yeah.
In this. So yeah, it's got scratches everywhere. Black obviously shows stuff. You know, it's tiny bit of pitting in some of the aluminium stuff.
Well, if you're really keen, you could definitely polish it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sort of little bits and pieces. Maybe where stuff's been carried up onto the roof because we take chairs up there and sit at the top of it and all sorts.
Yeah.
Got a dent there all the way down. But yeah, it's one of them things where it's best you just have a look at yourself, throw your own eyes on it, and see what you reckon, because my opinion is really good, yours might not be. So price for this is £21,000. To me, it's not even comparable to your sort of shuttle car transporters and stuff like that, because we used it as sort of an event base at competitions. It's just super rigid, super solid, and very presentable. Was one of the main things. People absolutely love seeing this rolling down the road. It's a bit of a road train, and yeah, it seems to put a smile on a lot of people's faces. So yeah, £21,000. There's no VAT because I didn't pay VAT when we bought it. It's owned by Driftworks, so you can have a receipt. But yeah, it's £21,000. That's probably about it, really. Thanks for watching, and I guess what should we sell next, Jay?
Whatever you want.
I think I'm done. I don't like selling things. I'm not a big fan of getting rid of my toys, but with this particularly, needs must, because we need the space, because we've got just too much stock, haven't we? So yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Cheers.